that he has doesn't necessarily do as well as against handlock as a faster druid, because you have less opportunities to just burst him out.
Yep.
But he did run Savage Roar, and so it's likely that there was a Force of Nature in there somewhere as well. And he did have things that help him do that, like the Shade of Naxxramas. And well,
Hunter can also do pretty well too. It depends on the draw, of course. But
yeah.
Two classes adept at striking it down recently are Paladin and Priest, because Paladin, great with the early game zombie chow mini bot starts.
Wait, what was it? Was it Hunter?
It was Hunter. Hunter versus Priest.
Okay.
Alright, so Priest got to a great start last game. Or last time around, rather. Last game didn't have Priest. Can he do it again? He's going to be looking for early game combinations to control the board. Druid picks up the wild growth, though.
Yep, that's
it's so paramount, because then you're skipping just less turns over the course of everything. You're dropping your threats that much quicker.
Definitely.
But that is a curve.
Yes, it is. And then he's got the opportunity to play the Loot Hoarder next turn, and then the following turn, like Northshire Cleric can heal for a draw. So there's a lot of options here. Well, not many options, but a lot of power here.
Right. How about that? I mean, he's got ways to extend it too. Oh man. Here's another rough thing too. Northshire Cleric essentially becomes a life tap, because you can just trade minions in, heal, and for 2 mana you draw a card.
Yeah, so in that situation, he's not only he's holding on to board control, but also gaining card advantage, because he's drawing 2 cards from this turn, and still has just as strong of a board as he had previously. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's what I thought this deck was insane when I first saw it. I was like, it's like a Warlock hero power that heals your minions. It's like, it doesn't even make sense.
Well, when like Naxxramas was released, or a bit after Naxxramas was released, Death Rattle Priest was becoming pretty popular, and a lot of people were saying it was one of the strongest ladder decks.
Yeah.
And now there's cards that just add additional value to it, like Vol'jin helps Priest out a lot.
God, that's so much. That's so many cards.
Yeah.
Because he's going to attack this, play into
Circle of Healing.
And he's going to draw 2 more cards, and it's just going to have such a big card advantage.
Wow.
I think this game almost feels like it's over.
And then he's got Sledge Belcher next turn.
To buff the Undertaker.
This is insane. Well, Sylvanas is decent, but,
but Sledge Belcher does stall.
Yeah.
Actually, I completely ignored the Sylvanas in the Druid's hand. Is this somewhat problematic?
Very problematic.
It's problematic because he doesn't want any of these targets to be stolen, but more importantly, if they get stolen, he can't deal with it easily without using a Vol'jin or something.
Like if he plays Sledge Belcher and buffs the Undertaker to what it would be, like a 4/7 after, if you factor in Power Word Shield.
I wonder if he's thinking about dealing with it now, just like attacking into it, trading, just like evaluating off of what it steals. So like you trade the Northshire Cleric and the injured Blade Master.
And now he can kill whatever comes out.
And
like
even heal up the Undertaker a little bit more. So momentum has been stopped. Barely.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see players, especially players that think they have control over the game, when Sylvanas comes out to try and stop them, they'll feel comfortable enough to just leave it alone and just play that Sludge Belch in that situation and keep going. But Priest is not a class that can just keep piling on aggression. I mean, sometimes they can win if they get a really great early start, but it takes them longer because they just don't have the burst. And so I like dealing with it right away. Feels a lot better.
It does start getting crazy though, because now, like, Druid's just so far behind the cards. Like, he expended like 5 or 6 cards to kill off 1 or 2, and now, meanwhile, Priest was drawing off of that too. So, also, I think Fishyy played a little bit quick. He wrapped the Undertaker that that was silenced. He needed to wrap the one that was not silenced.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I think he rushed that decision a little bit quickly.
He seems like a really fast player overall.
It could be on tilt too.
That's true.
Just looking at him, Fishyy looks quite uncomfortable just with the status of how things are.
Yeah. Maybe he needs a sleep number bed.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case here.
Yeah, he seemed pretty visibly shaken after the first match, so it's possible. And being down 2-1 in the series, especially with such a great early start by LonelyLink, and seeing his smug smile after every play.
Well, I guess this is
could
karma.
anger you.
This is karma for BMing earlier, right?
Yeah, it is. You kill command your face against me?
So Fishyy is going to dedicate all resources to taking out this Vol'jin. But
Whoa.
in the grand scheme of things, Priest is going to be fighting so efficiently. Just Shadow Word Death and move on.
I mean, this card advantage is ridiculous.
Oh, well actually, you might have to save that for Ancient of War.
Yeah.
Dr. Boom seems a little bit better.
I think it answers it pretty well. Yeah. And I mean, at the same time, you have to worry if you're Fishyy. Your health total is getting pretty low, and I said it before. Priest isn't a class that's going to burst you down, but when you have a Dr. Boom on the whoa, well, that's a good draw.
Yeah, the big game hunter will stop it. More importantly, though, what will this Boombot do? Oh! It destroyed that Azure Drake and high rolled it.
I guess that's karma too for top decking.
Well, hold on. Oh, if it hit the BGH, it would have revenge killed it.
Yeah.
So definitely on the better side of things for LonelyLink in terms of those rolls. He's in a pretty dominant spot. He's at full health. Druid's not anywhere near threatening to kill. And more importantly, Fishyy is way behind on board.
Well, he's gonna play a couple strong creatures here, but he does not have initiative in this situation. So, and when you don't have initiative against Priest, such a reactive class that most of the time they are gonna have an answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Druid of the Claw is pretty problematic, though.
Yeah, it is. He used both what's it called? Both Keeper of the Groves.
Yep.
So I don't know if
Just see Sarah.
it'll be silenced. I think you have to calculate if you might die.
Oh, that's very true.
Right.
Very true.
Sylvanas is not bad either on this board. Sylvanas is actually very good on this board. So you attack with the Sludge Belcher Healer, draw a card, and then drop Sylvanas. Because you'll have one more mana floating. Like it. LonelyLink's playing very well right now.
I think you have to have a lot of experience with Priest to bring it into this type of tournament format. I think it's probably one of the, besides Rogue, at least in the past couple weeks, probably the rarest class.
Yeah, now that he drew Alkanite, he changed his play because he wants to trade in the Zombie Child, do 5 more damage.
Whoa!
Works for me.
Yeah. It's one of the only ways you can get beneficial use from the Zombie Chow later on in the game.
No, this is very good. Like, LonelyLink keeps evaluating the play, and this is why it's important to draw, because the draw might change how everything goes for this turn.
Definitely.
You draw first, you see if there's a better play, and the best part is he also uses up all of his mana.
That always feels great. More than anything, I'm a big proponent of using all your mana.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a pretty good way to deal with the board, but once again, he's been at a huge card disadvantage for a long time.
Shadow Mana's a clear.
And Shadow Madness, the bane of the Sentient Shieldmaster.
Yeah, Sludge Belchers, etc. Sylvanas just represents the most power. Even though you're not really stealing anything, it's your opponent would have to take something drastic like swipe and hero power to remove it. Yikes.
Well, he's getting very, very low, and I just don't really see a way out for Fishyy in this situation.
Well, he might be able to draw game-ending damage, but the thing is now is Ysera time. And Priest has completely ran away with this game once again because of a few things, but most importantly, he had the board control early, and Druid was never able to seize it. And I know at the very beginning of the day we said Druid feels like it's the class on top, but not when you're facing up against Priest with those kinds of starts.
No, not at all. And
Well
LonelyLink played very, very well. Fishyy, decent play, but it looked like he was playing a little bit quick, maybe a little bit on tilt. Maybe that's just how he plays in general. There was a lot of times, though, especially in that last game, where there just wasn't many options. He just got outcarded, and it was just a little bit rough. But overall, very well played by LonelyLink, and
Pretty quick series to start things off.
yeah. And unlike past weeks, last week was the first week that we moved to single elimination for the Challenger Finals. So we won't be seeing any more of Fishyy, unfortunately. And this is the last week, so his opportunity has vanished.
Comes to a close.
Alrighty, well, you can see on your screen there, 3-1, LonelyLink up, and the next matchup is going to be Reynad versus Phrase.
That's right. This is the open finals. Reynad did not get invited here. We already used up his invite at the very beginning. Actually, that's quite fitting. Reynad was one of their first week invites, and now he's in the last week and potentially climbing through. That's going to be coming up for you after the break. Before we do, want to thank our sponsors over at Newegg Western